Trump drops a line of sneakers to get in touch with the younger voter, while Bo Biden makes TikToks, even though TikTok is illegal on most government phones. So then, of course, he goes to hang out and eat chicken with the black family, and the old man dressed as a lady in a military outfit tells you that the weather is targeting black people or something like that. What is up? My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. This, of course, is the epicenter for all of your current and captivating coastal elite chaos. So please hit that subscribe button, like the video, ring the notification bell, leave a comment or two, share this with a friend. Let's go. All right, lightning round, where I have to talk about the things I'm not going to talk about, starting with California lawmakers on both sides want to ban homelessness. A great idea, groundbreaking. You should definitely do that. You should also ban car break-ins and ban bank robberies, ban crime in general, ban cutting the junk off kids, ban illegal immigration. Now, obviously, they're not going to do those last two. In fact, they're going to double, triple, quadruple down on how much we need to have those things, but ban homelessness. I guess it's a step in the right direction. Then there's Oakland Uptown restaurant hit 3 times in 3 weeks, and I'm not quite sure what's happening there. I thought we were making progress, but I guess we need to just add a little context. We don't know what really led up to those thieves breaking into that restaurant the first, second, or third time. Then there's the Ebony Alert that was activated for a missing Oakley teen, and as dark as it sounds, they love this. They could not wait to activate this useless, divisive law that also has big baby on board vibes, right? Like, yeah, I was going to ram into your car, injuring me, you, and both of these cars, ruining them, totaling them, but I guess I will refrain because you have a baby in the car. Similar thing. Then there's, of course, Donald Trump has to pay $360 billion, million, trillion dollars. And why not, right? Let's do a $50 minimum wage. This lady gets $83 million. None of it makes any sense. So here we are. While these kangaroo court verdicts are being thrown all over the place and Fani Willis is drowning under the weight of her own insanity, Trump goes to SneakerCon and he announced a new line of footwear. And look, before everything turned political, I knew a lot about sneakers and graffiti and photography, but somewhere along the line, they came in and turned everything political and begged you not to notice, and if you noticed it, then you were the bad guy. But what you'll see here is that, you know, a lot of these stories that are running, oh, Trump booed at SneakerCon, and this is so crazy. Why would he do this? And it's like, well, yeah, it is crazy, but you guys set this up. Is Trump launching a line of sneakers any crazier than a weirdo criminal empty suit hack and his minions, his henchmen, going after Donald Trump at every possible turn and pretending that they're the good guy? I mean, we're here, right? Like, you want to pretend that Trump launching a line of sneakers is just a bridge too far, even though you guys are the ones that have literally been telling people that they should cut the junk off their kids if they happen to make it through the birth canal, which they should have been binned in the first place. But that aside, Kanye actually posted and deleted a meme of the image of Trump setting up to speak at SneakerCon, which was pretty epic. I'm glad I screen recorded it because I had a feeling he was going to remove it. And naturally, Bo Biden is big mad that Donald Trump goes to the sneaker convention. They actually had signs that said sneakerheads for Trump. And he trotted out one of his weirdo minion because quite clearly Bo Biden can't put together a sentence. So this guy, Michael Tyler, says, Donald Trump showing to hawk bootleg off-whites is the closest he'll ever get to any Air Force Ones ever again for the rest of his life. And it's like, bro, what are you talking about? We can all see it. Bo Jiden is out there trying to make TikToks, even though TikTok has been largely banned on government phones. So you're trying to reach the younger vote, the younger millennials, the older Gen Zers, and you're mad that Donald Trump is going to SneakerCon. And why do you guys continue to insult and debase your own audience, right? Unfortunately, I think they're doing this because they plan to win in an unsavory manner. Kind of like Katie Hobbs chose not to debate Carrie Lake, who was quite clearly more popular. I mean, you could drive around the Phoenix metro area for hours and you would see loads of FJB, Carrie Lake for governor stickers, but you didn't see not one Katie Hobbs sticker. No enthusiasm for that lady. And she literally said, well, the people of Arizona aren't going to decide based on a debate. And
if you were in the same space with her, wouldn't it be easier to knock it down in front of everyone, in front of the most people? Because you're not stopping her from spreading whatever you believe that she is spreading by not debating her. She can go on television, she can talk about it, she can go in front of the people of Arizona every single day and talk about it, but you're not confronting her on it. And it seems like it would be an easy fix if you stood up on a debate stage and confronted her about these issues.
Look, we're 6 days out from the election, and our campaign strategy is our campaign strategy. So we're moving forward. I'm continuing to make my case to the voters of Arizona. Whether or not we debated in this race is not going to decide this election. So, we made a decision, didn't want to be a part of her spectacle, and she's not, she won't answer these tough questions.
It's like, well, you guys all know, I mean, you continue to belittle, call the people that you're supposed to be appealing to, constantly insulting them, and then you wonder why nobody likes you, and you're forced to cheat to win. Then we have this hugely viral post from Rachel Levine, and I'm genuinely curious, how did this get through layers of approval so that this 60-plus-year-old man dressed up in a army outfit pretending to be a woman with African colors in the back telling us that the sun monster is racist? There's no way they all thought this was a good idea. What I think is happening here is that they're doing this weird sort of outreach, so when they start cheating, when they start pulling the wool over your eyes, they can say, look, we did that outreach. They absolutely love us. I don't know what you're talking about. But, I mean, we all saw this, but it's worth rewatching.
Hello, I'm Admiral Rachel Levine. This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for Black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their...
I mean, there is just no way, right? We all remember when it used to be called global warming and it would affect everybody, right? It was an existential threat. We only had 12 years to live. But now, somehow, it is affecting Black communities more. And this old weirdo I'm triggered. There's also the clip of Joe Biden hanging out with a Black family. I mean, do they really think we're all this stupid?
So I made sure you guys got your chicken, your orange soda, or Kool-Aid, if that's what you're into. Oh, I'm really sorry that Jill forgot the watermelon and hot sauce. Listen, I absolutely love the Blacks, especially when you people vote for me and not Trump.
I don't know. That might have been AI. Can't tell. Can't confirm. Fact checkers weigh in. Here's a quick update from Klops, right? I've talked about Klops a couple times by now, and I mentioned that in New York, they're trying to create this new law that will make certain graffiti a hate crime, and I thought it was specifically because of this guy, Klops, right? I mean, all the disgusting scribbles on the wall, that doesn't matter, but as soon as one hits a nerve, then it's a hate crime. And again, hate to say I told you so, but I think I've been vindicated, and he reposts an image of his graffiti, or, I mean, it's a fan account, I'm sure. It's probably not him, but somebody reposted this image from with a Reddit caption that says, anyone has anyone have a water pressure to rinse this bigoted BS off our neighborhood wall? Started with small LGB/Trump stickers on that street. I imagine as the election nears, more of this unwelcomed garbage will pop up. Keep your eyes peeled, I guess. Kick bigots out of Greenpoint. So, just like clockwork, these people cannot stand the idea of somebody who they should be going to bat for. I mean, a stone cold criminal, but they don't like his message, so he's got to go. Okay, so while New York is worried about bigoted graffiti and they continue to roll out the red carpet for the criminal illegals, Gothamist says the NYPD commissioner made unproven claims about a migrant crime wave. Then Donald Trump repeated them. So they're literally just telling you, do not believe your lying eyes. It did not happen. So the NYPD commissioner, who goes by the name of Caban, I don't know, but he's not like a regular old bigoted white supremacist. He seems to be like a man of color. He said that there's a migrant crime wave, but that's not true. You shouldn't believe it. And then Trump repeated the claims that the NYPD commissioner made, and that's even worse. And they want us to all pretend that we can't see what's really going on. Again, from Gothamist, and proof of the pretzel that the media will twist themselves into to maintain the narrative, Mayor Adams won't stop blaming President Biden for the influx of migrants. Both Democrats could get stung. So Mayor Eric Adams is blaming Biden, but Donald Trump is repeating claims of the NYPD officer, but actually it's not a problem at all. But Biden claims, well, he used to claim there was no actual problem, but then it became a problem, but it was the Republicans' fault that it was happening. And also, there's no crime surge, even though the police commissioner, who was a man of color, said there was, and then Trump repeated that. So, you know, that's just a bridge too far, of course. And again, you kind of have to respect this commitment to insanity, and it might make them look a little bit stupider, right? If they took their foot off the gas right now and said, okay, you know what, we were wrong, we're going to backtrack, then they would look even worse. Maybe, of course, it would make sense to any rational person out there, but for their blind, loyal followers, I guess it might make, I mean, look, quite obviously, everything is a complete mess on purpose. They love the chaos. From News 12 BK, now we know that there is no migrant crime wave. There's really no crime wave at all. If there is a crime wave, it's obviously scary white men. But News 12 Brooklyn says, human leg found on Bronx subway tracks. Now, that's weird. I mean, where's the rest of the body? Is there a person walking around without a leg? Did they show up in the hospital? More likely, they're quite obviously no longer with us. Are there other body parts scattered around the train tracks? What the hell is going on? And here from NPR, they're once again kind of saying the quiet part out loud. And I did ask some New Yorkers what was going on with the algorithm, because I think it is a huge cause of and could possibly be the solution to a lot of our problems. But what does your Explore page look like? When you open up that Explore page, what
you want to see?
Yeah.
Do you I actually show a lot of people this because it's actually
interesting.
It's actually really interesting for me because it's just like idols. I know it looks kind of bad, but like, you know, let's support our idols kind of thing. But yeah, that's what my Explore page looks like.
But that aside, they say how social media algorithms flatten our culture by making decisions for us. Yeah, so you shadow ban and you fact check and you step on anybody's toes if they mention anything you don't like, and then you wonder why. I mean, obviously they're not wondering, they're telling us, just like Time Magazine told us that the shadow campaign saved the election in 2020. We're all paying for it now. Even people that were quite obviously rabid anti-Trumpers believe every single thing they hear in the media, but when they start actually living it, they come around. So there's this faction of media personalities who are going to be incredibly Orwellian, don't believe your lying eyes. There's going to be some in the media who are going to say, all right, maybe we've gone a little too far. And there's going to be some outside of the media that bought everything the media that was selling them, but now they can say, and this is the best people. These are the Adriana Laservas of the world, the Drea De Mateos of the world. They could say, damn, I was wrong about that. I didn't do my research, but now I see it, and this is wild. But yeah, the point here is way back in the day when Instagram first started, it would have just been in chronological order. But now there's quite clearly an algorithm, and they're letting us know that they are quite literally making decisions for us, especially during an election year. And here from CNN, a little classic political gaslighting. They say, as much as we'd all love to see prices go back to pre-pandemic levels, it's not actually good for the economy. So keep in mind, CNN was the premier, the death ticker. We're counting every single time. I mean, a man falls off a ladder, a motorcycle accident, and then they test him for Rona at the hospital. That's a Rona death. Those are the people we're talking about here. So they want you to know that we're not going back. And of course, they all obviously did it on purpose. But here they are telling you that, yeah, it would be bad, right? That would kill the economy. And they don't actually mention Joe Biden here in this clip, but we know what they're trying to do.
We hear you, we feel you, and we get it. Inflation sucks, and Americans are paying the price, literally. Remember this guy?
Rent is too damn high.
Yes, it is. Rents have been falling, but it's still the biggest share of what we pay every single month. It's where we feel higher prices the most. But the U.S. economy has somehow pulled off a miracle.
The U.S. economy has somehow pulled off a miracle. Is that right, CNN?
Low unemployment, rising wages, plentiful jobs, with falling inflation, without a recession. But many of you still feel like things are too expensive, and they still are. Here's the thing, as much as it would be great to see prices drop, we're never going to pay 2019 prices again.
Here's the thing. Price of the brick going up. So quit crying about it. We're in charge now. And it's worth it, right? You got Bo Jiden. You love Bo Jiden. Doesn't matter. He's doing a good job. What are you talking about?
Again, pandemic or not. That would be something called deflation, when prices fall. Sounds great, right? Wrong. Deflation is something we don't want to see.
When there's deflation, it means there's less demand, which could lead to things like layoffs, high unemployment, and falling incomes.
That's what happened in the Great Depression. The Federal Reserve is doing everything in its power not to let that happen.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, it's not that bad. It happened at the Great Depression, so it's like, it's happened before. What does it matter if it happens again?
What we do want to see is disinflation, or slowing the rate at which prices increase. That pushes down the overall inflation rate, and what has been happening since the summer of 2022, when inflation hit a 40-year high of 9.1% in a single month. And the reason prices have cooled is because of the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. The Fed's goal is a 2% yearly inflation rate. That's what we're all used to. We're not there yet, but we are close. Yet despite progress, it still feels painful. Some of this isn't about numbers. It's psychological.
Oh, yeah. It's not really about the numbers, right? It's the same thing they do with the Transformer, right? Like, I mean, Zuby, made famous by winning a women's weightlifting contest, right? So it's never about race. It's never about it's just about obeying, right? So yeah, this isn't about numbers. Numbers don't matter. Facts don't matter. But this is about psychology and history and the feeling, right? And we're telling you that you feel bad, but you shouldn't.
It's about history and your age. There have been 3 previous moments of great inflation since World War II, not including this one. Baby boomers and Gen X have experienced high inflation in their adult working lives when it topped 12.3% and 14.8%, and had mortgage rates at 10% and nearly...
Yeah, look, she goes on trying to gaslight you with numbers, but yeah, I mean, it was bad in the Great Depression, it was bad in the 70s, it was bad in the 80s, so like 3 prior times before it's been this bad, so you really shouldn't care, right? You love Bo Jiden, Orange Man bad, he's dangerous, what are you talking about? And you can see one of these morons in the comments, LOL, this is hilarious, everybody knows prices went up because of corporate greed. No, I mean... This person is so out of touch with reality. Okay, am I going to sit here and say there's never been such thing as corporate greed? Obviously not. But do you think for one split second that they're just doing that to get their kicks, right? To get their rocks off, they're just going to raise the prices, and it has nothing to do with shutting the entire world down for over a year? But then There looks like a little bit of sense in here. Blah, blah, blah. News media gaslighting us over and over about costs and pricing to normalize this new horrible normal. And that's correct. All right, back in California, this man is going to talk about how difficult it has become to maintain a restaurant, and it makes total sense, right? So you already have everything else. You have the regular city thugs, you have rising costs of everything that you're battling with, but on top of that, so cost of living, cost of goods, regular civilian thugs, and then he's going to talk about the contingent of political thugs on top of all that.
Opening a restaurant seems simple, right? You never anticipated.
Let me just say, shout out this guy, Andrew Gruel, I guess. And to his credit, I don't think opening a restaurant sounds simple. I mean, especially not in California. So shout out to him if he, if it all seems so simple to him, but they made it difficult on purpose. So it doesn't seem simple to me to open a restaurant. But even if it seems simple for a guy like him and he got it done, they're going to make it difficult. So then you think about somebody who realizes it's not so simple to open a restaurant. And that's what they want. They're ushering in communism left and right. Oh, we're going to do $50 minimum wage. Oh, we're going to do $30 minimum wage for fast food workers. And then they're going to pretend. And that's what makes this so sinister for the millionth time. It's that they all know exactly what it is they're doing. And it's been brought to my attention that there are some people out there older than high school age that actually think a $50 minimum wage is a good idea. But I'm getting off track here. So again, shout out to this guy. Opening a restaurant is not simple. You thought it was, and they still made it difficult.
That you would expect. 60 to 70% of running a business in California is about managing the administrative gauntlet, the administrative framework in California. I spend time every single day auditing payroll reports, auditing punch-in reports to make sure that employees aren't clocking in 1 minute early, aren't missing their break by 1 minute or 2 minutes, because those little violations can cause hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of lawsuits.
And they want the state to have control of quite literally everything. It's insane, right? So he's watching employees clock in and out to the minute. Meanwhile, there's, LA city councilman getting arrested because of some weirdo scam development that they abandoned, got covered in graffiti. I mean, that's a complete mess. Nobody is obeying the traffic laws in Oakland, California. 911 doesn't work. Obviously, San Francisco has the poop patrol, the smash and grabs nonstop. But and this is what happens, is no matter how bad it gets, you can have some weirdo corrupt DA, some weirdo corrupt lawyer, and some completely compromised federal monitor still blame the business owner, still blame the police officer, and claim they're the problem when it's quite obviously not true. And that's why, look, I'm not going to pretend by any stretch of the imagination that I'm some sort of oracle that can see the future, but that's why it's over. And none of the Gavin Newsoms, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Barbara Lees, none of those people, the Eric Garcettis that shut down businesses on purpose to help usher in communism, none of those people are going to just let themselves be outvoted and then walk away and try again in a couple of years with a plan that people like. It's not going to happen. They're doing this on purpose. And I guess maybe if I want to keep the glass half full, I would say don't leave California, because they are destroying it on purpose to drive down property values to eventually make money exponentially when they clean it up. So I don't know. I truly don't know which way this is going, but I will say the people, quote unquote, in charge are destroying this on purpose, and it's quite obvious.
I was at a trade event the other day. Every single restaurant owner I talked to is in a PAGA lawsuit. Every single one. Every retail business owner I talked to is in a PAGA lawsuit. None of them are less than 6 figures. You're no longer allowed to use plastic gift cards in California. That was recently signed into law. If you offer a straw to a customer, you as the server and the restaurant will get penalized, right? It's a civil violation. Opening a
right? And we remember the young lady from early in the days of Rona. They forced her to shut her restaurant down while a Hollywood production was happening right across the street.
I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here.
Angela Marsden, owner of Pineapple Hill Saloon and Grill, outraged and emotional, posting this video on social media after she saw production tents and tables set up in a parking lot just a few feet from the outdoor dining area she's not allowed to use.
They have not given us money and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this. Tell me that this is dangerous, but right next to me as a slap in my face, that's safe. This is safe.
And I don't know why anybody would stick. I mean, you'd have to stick around for the long haul in hopes that they're actually going to bring it back and jump in on their scam. Because why would you stay there? You're going to have to pay your employees $50 an hour, and you're going to have to be combating lawsuits left and right because you passed out a straw that's made out of paper and it's disgusting anyways. All right, so it's All-Star Weekend, and I think everybody, you know, Kenny Smith has been pretty neutral. He's never said anything. I don't believe he's ever gotten political. He didn't get political here, but the mainstream media is trying to claim he sort of did. And right, we have Chuck and Shaq, EJ. They're all pretty funny. I think they've got a great thing going for, I don't know, probably 20 years now. But that's not the point. The point is, I was scrolling through social media because I did not watch the All-Star game or whatever they got going on these days. But now they've, you know, add a chick and make it gay. So apparently there's a woman shooting against Steph Curry, who is quite clearly the best shooter to ever touch a basketball. But for some reason, people were mad. Oh, Twitter was mad. And all of these Google search results here, I just typed in Kenny Smith, and what you'll notice is that they're mad, but they don't tell you why they're mad. So Kenny Smith's Sabrina Ionescu comments spoiled an otherwise great three-point contest. Kenny Smith's sexist comments about Sabrina that outrage even Steph Curry. Viewers didn't love Kenny Smith commentary. Joel Embiid trolls Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith roasted for comments about Sabrina. Fans torch legend's misogynistic remark. What? What did he say? Why don't you tell us in one of these headlines what he actually said? So click one of the articles to find out how misogynistic and sexist and hateful Kenny Smith is. And you will find that all he said was she should shoot from the women's three-point line. They also mention, just for good measure, I guess, that there is no talent gap between the WNBA and the NBA, which begs an obvious question, but that aside, she's shooting with a women's basketball against the best person to ever shoot a basketball. And in her games, the WNBA games that we all love so much, they have a different three-point line. So the game is shorter, I believe. The basketball is smaller. The three-point line is closer. All makes sense. They got mad at Shaq a couple of years ago when he said, maybe you should lower the rims a little bit. That was a bridge too far. But so while she is quite literally shooting with a women's-sized basketball, it is just a bridge too far for her to shoot from the women's three-point line, which is a little bit closer, obviously, than the men's three-point line, as she is competing against literally the best man to ever shoot a basketball in the history of the world. And that's why they're mad at Kenny Smith. And as of recording this video, he has not apologized, which he obviously should not do, but he probably will in some way, shape, or form. We shall see. Okay, so that's it, I guess. Trump drops a line of sneakers to get in touch with the younger voter, while Bo Biden makes TikToks, even though TikTok is illegal on most government phones. So then, of course, he goes to hang out and eat chicken with the black family, and the old man dressed as a lady in a military outfit tells you that the weather is targeting black people or something like that. Also, some graffiti is racist. There's no crime happening, but if there was crime happening, It would probably be big, scary, mean white people. It's just a mess. But on the plus side, a buddy of mine sent me this clip on Instagram, and I laughed for like 10 minutes straight. So let's go for another one. Now, I don't know the origin of this clip, if it's actually from Scared Straight or some sort of comedy, but it is pretty funny.
It'll let you know what's going to happen when you end up in a cell with a nigga like me. Y'all been to the dentist before? Yeah. Say ah. Open your mouth wide. Yeah. Remember that position. And you, nigga, take your hat off. Oh, yeah. Let down your hair. Bring it out in front of you. Oh, you. Yeah, you got that pretty hair. Mm-hmm.